What's good, my boy? There's this whole movement out there of these self improvement people, and it's like a movement of people doing what they want to do, of certain figures being like, chase your dreams, chase your purpose, do what you want to do, and be unapologetic about it. And there's also this other movement where like people call everything cringe, and that side has been going on since like 2015. I remember like my first real taste of it was probably like 2016, 20. I was in 8th grade or some shit like that. And I remember there was this kid named Jacob Chapman. I went through school with like 10 kids. Since like 4th grade, we were like best friends. We hung out outside of school, played games together, so on and so forth. And there was like a running joke between all of us. We were kind of like dickheads, popular loner type motherfuckers. And we wouldn't make fun of him, but it's like this kid was super eccentric and he would like act out his jokes, and he just like in the classroom, we'd all just kind of like try to fly under the radar and be chill in school. And I remember it was like a reference, like if someone was cringy, instead of being like that motherfucker's cringe, because see we got so like into this cringe shit that we thought saying things were cringe was cringe. Governing the fucking words we use, so we'd be like, man, that's like a Jacob Chapman motherfucker. If you, that's the analogy I'm trying to put here, or example, if you will. And I remember it was kind of what it seemed like started was from like fucking like Filthy Frank, like that whole YouTube era of Filthy Frank and like H3H3 and like the people who would like make fun of other people on the internet and like cringe compilations and all that shit. Everyone was like secretly like watching fucking FaZe Clan by themselves, but if you got caught doing it, you were cringe. But everything was seen as cringe. And I think a lot of people in my generation and age, older people might not really understand. I know my parents at the time, whenever I would use the word cringe for the first time around them, called my little brother cringe or something because just some bullshit. And they were like, what is that? So there might be a disconnect with the word. But for a lot of people like 20 years old, a little younger, 25 ish, we all know what cringe is. And it's almost like we've been indoctrinated from like being online and like people just being like heinous, like the fucking Call of Duty lobbies, just making fun of every little thing you can think of. It's like a sport to make fun of, like, oh, dog, you fucking cringe. You think like that? You're thinking about that shit? How'd you even come up with that joke? Just like a weird thing. So people have developed this like personality on walking on eggshells because they're concerned of what someone that they used to be friends with in high school would think of them doing what they want. And then you have all these self-improvement people coming out like empowering these people to do what they want. First-hand experience here, bro. Being cringe, if you will set you fucking free. It will set you free. Okay? I think back to that kid, Jacob Chapman. I think back to those fucking kids in the Minecraft hoodies with the Roblox kittens in high school and shit like that. They didn't give a fuck, bro. They didn't give a fuck. You sent to alternative school if you got caught bullying them, so it was just free reign. This wasn't no 80s. It wasn't like the 80s or the 90s where you could get fucking nuggied and like push their fucking books out of their hand and be like, fuck you, nerd. No, it's like people, there was like a small minority of people who just like didn't give a fuck and were just as weird as possible. Got really blown out of proportion my last couple years of high school with all like the fucking crazy hairs and all the new whatever. I ain't gonna get into all that, but people are scared to be themselves because they think they're gonna be judged and be considered cringe and judged by people who they don't even fucking talk to anymore or really care about. It's like, not really anything bad could happen. But I think we all know that. We all know what we need to do to be ourselves. There's certain things that hold us back. For me, for the longest time, I knew that if I allowed myself to be cringe or be myself, eccentric personality, don't give a fuck, wear what I want, do what I want, say what I want, speak about what I want, and be interested openly in what I fucking want. I remember like all this music shit. It's been like with me since I was 15 years old, but I never like openly started like pursuing it unapologetically until like 6 months ago. It's crazy to say, but like I always had this. I thought in my mind that people would think I was cringe that I grew up with, and like consider me like one of the fucking SoundCloud rapper wannabe people from high school that we would make fun of and call cringe. I was like, oh no, I can't do that. Like, I'm really interested in it. I did it a couple times, but it was all like for jokes because I didn't want to take myself too seriously or be seen as cringe. But that ties into what I'm getting at here is I think one of the reasons why people don't want to be themselves and are afraid of being perceived as cringe is they've developed this like level of like overly self-aware just in their mind. They're overly self-aware about everything they do, and they're like, they can fucking draw a stick figure and be like embarrassed about it even though nobody's seen it, or like think something in their head and like be like, what the fuck did I think that? Oh, that's weird. It's overthinking. And you have this level of awareness, and you view the people who don't have that or don't seem to have that as like taking themselves too seriously and kind of being stupid maybe. And you're afraid that if you become cringe or let go and be free, that it will be like you dumbing yourself down and taking yourself too seriously, when it's the exact opposite. In fact, it's you enlightening yourself and allowing yourself to just be free to the fucking whatever you want to do. I call it Da Vinci mind, okay? I've thought up this concept right now. Da Vinci mind is what I'm going to call it. I read this book by Walter Isaacson. He's a great biographer, and it's about Da Vinci. He just details his life, and Da Vinci was so fascinating and has been respected for so many years, not because the Mona Lisa. In my opinion, Caravaggio is a better painter than Da Vinci. So many there's hundreds and hundreds of different old master painters, okay? We don't fuck with Da Vinci because of the Mona Lisa. We fuck with Da Vinci because he was fully himself. He allowed himself to follow his curiosities like a child and just like wear his interests and hobbies on his sleeve. And that's what I believe. Openly gay, bro. Motherfuckers will like fuck around with some gay people. I live in East Texas. Motherfuckers will hate on a gay person now. It's like 2023, bro. Da Vinci was wearing like bright colors fucking dudes back in like 1500s. He didn't give a fuck, dog. What are you gonna call him, a queer fag? He didn't give a fuck. He was cringe. But we love him because he was himself. He was himself so much that it inspires other people to be themselves. Okay? I've really been on this art kick right now. I'm a fucking general contractor and I build houses to bring in the cheddar cheese. But like my music, my paintings, I was so scared to like be vulnerable with that shit. But it's like, bro, Bob Dylan can't even really sing that well. I don't even think that the fucking Radiohead Tom York can sing that well. Like, some of his vocals are just like, it's kind of weird. But it's like, they're so vulnerable and so unapologetically themselves that it inspires other people to do the same, and like inspires something in them like, holy shit, that's beautiful. That's what it all comes down to. If you allow yourself with anything, bro, you want to be a fucking entrepreneur and not an artist, but you're afraid what people think, you're going to be like this stereotype of like putting fucking entrepreneur in your Instagram bio. Fuck it, bro. Be cringe. You want to go dig up fucking bones and be an archaeologist, but you think people are going to think you're cringe? Be cringe. For me, one of my first videos of this long 6-month stint of consistency was a video, what was it titled? I don't remember exactly what it was titled, but you can go back and see it. And at the very end of the video, I did what I'd been wanting to do for over 2 years. Whenever I first started working construction late in 2021, something like that. I wanted to be like a fucking acoustic guitar singer, Bob Dylan, folk singer, just like me and my acoustic guitar. I wanted to post cover songs. I really enjoy the feeling, once I gained the ability to play guitar and sing, of just like creating, strumming the chords, and then just expressing my fucking self through my voice. I've always loved to sing, but I was always too afraid to put it out there. I could make videos and shit, but I couldn't put out things like singing. It was too emotional. It was too vulnerable. In my first fucking video, at the very end of it, I sang a song, Don't Back Down, the Johnny Cash version, not Tom Petty, and I covered it. It's kind of shit, and looking back on it, right now, this is a live demonstration on Free Yourself and Be Cringe. In my head, I'm like thinking, oh, that's kind of cringe. I sang fucking Don't Back Down. That's fucking cringe. No! Fuck it, bro! We're all gonna die and fucking everything you know will disappear and decay. Okay? Fuck that shit. There's no reason to look back. Document these moments of time and do what you want. Do what you want by documenting moments in time of freedom. Of fucking saying, fuck you, cringe. Fuck you people who think I might be cringe. And do what you want, bro. Do what you want. Last little thing, I want to go off on a tangent here about artists. About music. And like another thing of people thinking about expectations of others. Art is not the same thing as commerce. Okay? You do not make art. Now, if you're doing a commission piece and it's very, very like you have to do this and do this, or you're like me, I build houses and they want it exactly like this, or they give you a picture, you have to build it like that, and it kind of becomes commerce and loses its full definition as art. But a true artistic expression should be something that you're creating only for you to like. In the only thought of an audience besides yourself is that maybe one other person will like it because you like it. Art is not commerce. Commerce is made in the intention to provide value to other people. Art is to provide value to yourself by expressing how you fucking feel onto whatever medium you're using. So that's a little side tangent besides the cringe thing, but it does tie in. I'm just defining the separation between the two. But if you want to do fucking commerce and you feel like people think it's going to be cringe, do it. Thing is, do what you fucking want. Be cringe, be free, be yourself. Boy, chase paper, enjoy art and nature, and have a good one.